This is the very last recipe I will be publishing this year, and as the year comes to an end, I wanted to wish everyone a peaceful and healthy new year, and hopefully you've enjoyed what I've cooked so far. Over the past 12 months, the channel has become less about specific recipes and more about lifestyle. And you'll have noticed that a lot of my recipes are not just specific recipes. I'm trying to make them accessible, affordable to everybody. And as we move into the new year, I will be continuing on that theme, and I'd like to cook more vegetarian meals, a lot more plant-based. I mentioned before that I will be attaching a little bit of the science and making sure that it's accessible to everybody. So I will be launching a new series called Food That Look After You, and alongside that also I'll be talking more about coffee, and of course I'm open to any suggestions you might have. But let's go and cook this pork, and I'll show you what to do as for the last video for the year. Thank you. Pork fillet, or often referred to as tenderloin, runs alongside the muscle on the backbone of the pig, and it sits deep in the loin, and it's a muscle which doesn't get used a lot. It's very close to the spine, and because it doesn't get used a lot, it's very tender. And this is what I've got here in front of me today. It's quite expensive in comparative terms to the rest of any part of the pig. But that is because there isn't a lot of it. I think in a pig you might find about a couple of them altogether, no more than a kilo. This is about 500 grams. And I'm doing it with the lemon today. It's a very simple recipe, but very tasty. And I'll start slicing this, and I've actually just defrosted it, and you saw me wiping it with some tissue paper because I want it to be dry. And I'm going diagonally with my knife, just like this, and I'm going to make some medallions, approximately half a centimeter in size. The thinner the better. See, if I show you with this one, actually, maybe I'll do another one over here. It's much easier, and here I'll show you about half a centimeter. But the thinner you can do them, the better, as they will cook considerably faster. Also, you can use chicken breast to do this, or if you like, you can use the loin of the pork. And not to be confused with this, this is obviously different parts of the pork, which is also very good. A good quality of this is that it's very lean and very tender, as I already said. So I'll just cut my medallions, and I'll show you what I'll do next. One thing I forgot to mention, and apologies, is the angle of the knife. As I progress, I'm keeping it more and more at a 45-degree angle, so that my slices are a little bit larger. You don't have to, you can still go down vertically if you like, but like this they look a little bit better, and also they are slightly bigger. This is plain flour. You can use any flour you have at home. Self-raising is also good. A couple of the zest spoons to start with and see how it goes, and I'll move all of my chopped pork inside, and I'll mix it with my hands. I think I'm going to add a third spoon as I'm struggling. It's more than what I thought, and I'll mix it again. The objective is to ensure that all of my pork is covered by a layer of flour, and I do not need to add any water or any egg to this, just that the moisture of the meat is enough. Regardless if you're using chicken or pork, you'll find that as long as you got enough flour, you'll be okay. You can see now that it's working. It's covered in flour. I will be frying this with some butter in a little while, so I just need enough flour to cover the surface of my chicken. So if you make this recipe, do ensure that you do not carry more than what you need, otherwise you'll end up with lumps as and when you cook it. Using a potato peeler, which I think is very effective, as all I want is just the lemon zest. I'm removing the lemon zest from a lemon. Look, it's really good. So for years I always cut it in half and remove the white pith, until I thought, why not use a potato peeler? So if you got potato peeler, ideal. So I'm keeping this aside as I need it, and I'll extract the juice from the other two halves. If, like me, you are going to use the potato peeler trick, do the peeling first, as it is going to be easier to remove the peel before you cut the lemon. So that's all you need, the juice from a lemon. I've gone back to the peels, but they're pretty much the size I want them, almost like little matches, so they're perfect. A generous knob of butter over a hot pan, and I'll wait until it melts. Ensure that the surface of the pan is covered by butter, and I'll start moving my pork medallion inside it one by one. I think I was a little bit mean with my generous knob of butter, so I'm going to add a little bit more, and I'll carry on. Do not worry if you end up having to make some space here and there, that's fine. The pork is very thin anyway, and it will shrink and eventually will fit in your pan. It will cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then I'll turn it around. 3 minutes and I'm ready to turn it around. You can see that it's got a beautiful golden color already. So very gently I'll go over and making sure that retain the flour, and literally one by one I'll swap them over, and 3 more minutes and I'll show you what to do with the lemon in a moment. And there we go, I'm keeping the temperature just above medium. Lemon goes in all over the top, and here I've got some water. I will rinse my container here with some water, and I'll put just a little bit more than what I had in the lemon. Followed by my lemon zest, I'll just sprinkle on top, but I reserved a little for the end. I'll mix it in and I'll leave it for a few minutes until this liquid turns into a beautiful little cream, as the flour will blend with the water and it will become really creamy. And I'm nearly ready. We are going to eat this street food style today. So I've got a couple of pieces of ciabatta over here, and I'll go and get my pork, which is just finished. I'll show it to you. You can see what I meant with the liquid that's turned into this beautiful little cream over here. We'll be making a little tomato salad with basil and mozzarella to go with this tonight, and you can obviously pair it with anything you like, and as I said, you can also cook it with chicken. Here I've got a little parsley which goes really well with pork, and I would definitely recommend to use parsley for this particular recipe, as you're adding it now and the food is hot, and even if this is frozen, it will soon defrost, and it will release a beautiful flavor. And I also did say that I reserved a few of the strips of my lemon zest. I'll place them on top just like this. And before I finish, I'll share some of this lovely juice across both of my panini or ciabatta, street food ciabatta with pork medallion. And all I've got left to do is to close them. I'll put a little toothpick, one over here and one over here, and they're ready. And if, like me, you've got any left over here, once they've cooled down, place them in the fridge with a little cling film on top, and they will be just as delicious cold. So I'll cut a little piece from over here and I'll taste it, otherwise I'll make a mess, and I'll let you know what it's like. It's really good. You can taste the pork is really tender, the lemon and the parsley, everything is beautiful. And I did actually add a little salt, I forgot to mention it, but you can put salt and pepper to taste, entirely up to you. But a really quick meal that everybody in the family love, especially children. Make it and you'll know what I mean. Thank you for watching. Ciao ciao.